What is going on, friends and fellow artists? This is Matt, aka Mr. E in 3D, and in today's video we are going to be creating the details for our Orc Warrior's body. Using the model that we created in the last video, we are going to be carving out and extruding details, giving him all the characteristics that we originally created in our concept sketch. Now, before we get any further, let's go ahead and take a look at that sketch. Let's see what the differences are. So you can see here, for the most part, I've kept pretty close to the original idea. Of course, he's smiling instead of frowning. I think I gave him one more braid on either side. His ponytail is a little bit shorter. I did adjust that. I'll be showing you guys that in a couple seconds. But today we're going to basically focus on creating the vest, creating the bracers, creating his pants, his boots, and his muscles and his belt. I am going to leave the cape and the fur collar and then the fur lining around his boots to another video. They would basically be in line with the way that I create hair and hair details. And it's kind of a tedious process, so I want to try and keep my videos as short as possible, guys. So for the sake of time, I'm just going to be focusing on the more basic of the details, and then we'll do a follow-up video for those other pieces. So going back to our model, I basically imported this model into the file for this one. And the way that you would go about doing that is very simply by going to File, Append. You would find the file in question wherever you guys keep them. You would click on the file, click on Object, and then you would grab whatever object it is. Now, of course, you can rename these within the file, so it's a little bit easier to know which one you're grabbing. Since I only have 2 of these different bodies in that original file, I just grabbed them and brought them over. You click Append, and wherever your cursor is at, that is where they will populate. Again, it is very important whenever your guys are doing anything with the mesh itself that you always make sure that you're snapped to world origin so that it snaps in place. Because if I were out here, my cursor was way out here, the body would have appeared out here and not where I wanted it, okay? So just always good, best practice, make sure you have that cursor snapped to the middle. So let's go ahead and get started. You can see here, it's a little bit, pretty silly looking right now, but as before when we worked on the head, I promise you it's going to look better as we go. Let's go ahead and go in Object Edit mode. We're going to first start off by creating his vest. Okay, so I'm going to use my knife utility, K for N, bring that over to here. It's going to basically create his collar, and now let's go ahead and select faces. Click, shift click all the way around, select these faces. Okay, we're going to E, click off, and then hit S for scale, bring that out. SZ, bring it down a little bit. And let's add a couple loop cuts, Control R, one down here. Let's bring out one along the center for his chest. I think that's good. Switch over to vertices. Let's go ahead and grab these 2 right here. Grab X, GX, pull that out. All right, that's a good starting point for his vest. Let's get started with some of the details on his body. Let's do a loop cut here, Control R. And let's do another one here, Control R. Okay. And I think that's good. And then let's just do Control R here, and let's do scroll up 2, and that is going to give us the 3 lines that we need for his 6-pack. Okay, perfect. All right, let's go ahead and get the details out for his chest. Now we are going to grab this, grab Z, bring that up, and then we are just going to grab all of this. So for B, and select. Finally figured out what the B is for. B is for box select. So you see here, I create a box, and it selects everything within the box. So I now know. And if I hit B and I do box with the center scroll mouse, it unselects, just like normal. Grab Y, and see what happens here when I pull this out. It's going to create a nice little line in here. GY, make that a little bit more defined. And then let's go ahead and go Control R, and Control Y there. There we go. That's giving us more like what we want. He is a big, strong dude. Best warrior in his class or in his clan. All right. Now from here, let's go ahead and start adding the details of his six-pack. So we're just gonna grab these and we're gonna G along the X and bring them closer to the center line. We really want them as close as possible because there's obviously not a huge gap, GX. And then from here, we're gonna individually grab that face. And we're gonna grab the faces individually. E along the Y. And then you can see it's like pretty, you know, very, very defined, a little bit too defined. Let's go ahead and S and scale that down. And what you'll see, let's go ahead and kick this up. You'll see as I scale that down, it actually takes away a lot of that crazy definition. And then we can just go, actually let's get the next one done. E along the Y, same thing, scale that way down. We continue to scale this down. And then grab the last one, E along the Y, and scale down. Now we're gonna grab all of this. We're gonna shift click, and grab all of these, and then grab these along the X. And we're gonna bring these as close as possible. You gotta bring these as close as possible without actually getting them into the middle, because if you get them all the way to the middle, they are going to pinch together and create one surface. That might be a little bit too much. Let's go ahead and select our line, see if we can push this line back. I am trying to get better about using the line utility. Push that back. All right, and if we go to edit object, let's see how it looks. It's not great, but I think I'll be able to work with that. I think I'll be able to get those a little bit toned down. Check the edit. Let's just go ahead and grab those faces. And for now, we will just grab Y and take them down. Yeah. Just take them way down. There we go. That's better. It's supposed to be cartoony above all else. Y. There we go. We just want that definition. All right. I'll be able to play around more with that later. As I've done with other videos, I will go ahead offline and I will go ahead and edit that a little bit further. So let's go ahead and work on his belt. For this, I'm going to go ahead and create one knife cut here, and then I'm going to go around and create the box that will actually be like his belt buckle. I won't be able to add the little rod here that goes and connects the belt around because I'm in mirror. So if I did it here, it would show up over here, it would look silly. So I'm gonna have to do that detail when I get done with the mirror modifier. For now, let's just go ahead and select all these faces. Actually, we're gonna grab the whole thing. And let's go ahead and E the whole thing out along the Y, bring that out, and then unselect those center squares, then E along the Y. And boom. It's a little bit big. It's not that big. Yeah, let's shrink this down some. Let's go ahead and grab Z, and then let's hit this and this. Let's grab all those front faces. Make sure we have everything in the front. So it's sticking out a little bit too far for my taste. And GY. That's better. Okay. Really quick, we're going to just hit Control R, create a loop cut here. Create a cut here, and because I use that knife utility, it's limiting to the face. Again, I want to caution against using it, but at the same time, it does have its benefits. Use that knife utility. And then what I'm going to do, just so that I don't have that rounded end sticking out, I'm going to grab these two faces here for the belt, and I'm going to G along the X and pull it back. All right, so that is enough for that. I may have to make that bigger. We'll do that later. All right, let's go ahead and get the rest of his legs. Now he looks like he is wearing skinny jeans. We obviously don't want that for our super tough warriors. Just grab X, sticking out these legs some. Actually, let's go ahead. Z wireframe, B for box select, grab X. Very happy that I now know what that is. Bring these legs out a little bit. Z. Let's go ahead and grab this face. GY. Let's create a loop cut here. Yeah. Let's make sure his muscles and his legs are showing a little bit. We want to make sure he has a little bit of a butt. We're going to have good leg strength without glutes. Control R up here. Grab that line, GY. There we go. And just getting those little bits and pieces of detail out. His pants obviously aren't too detailed. Definitely have to make that belt bigger, but I'll do that later on. All right, and now we're moving down to the boots. We're gonna do this with some more loop cuts. Control R, up. And then I'm going to control our ear. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to grab these faces. And I'm going to S and scale them out. Okay. And then I'm going to take this line. Oh, they're way too wide. I'll fix that in a sec. Then I'll S and then grab Z. And pull it down inside. And now you can see we've got our nice boot line. I'll take this, I will take that face and that face. Let's scale along S for scale on the Y, bring them back in some. Let's grab that too. These two, S or G along the Y, bring that in. All right, that's better. Let's go ahead and widen out his feet. G along the X. G along the X. Okay, let's go ahead and let's bring this in a little bit. GY. And then let's control R. And then let's grab this top face. GZ. Actually, let's grab both of these. It's supposed to look like boots. There you go. That's pretty good. Maybe a little more. All right, and then from here, let's go ahead and give him tread on the bottom of his boots. And the easiest way to do that is Control R, grab a loop cut. And then actually, no, you know, let's do this another way. Let's Control Z out of there. Let's go ahead and grab these bottom faces. And then let's E along the Z. And then we'll Control R on that extrusion and we will scale in. Okay, and then if you want to make that an even harder line, just go ahead and hit Control R, create another loop cut, off click cut, and then S out, and then Z. Okay, and now we have our boots with our tread. That is looking pretty good. GY. Perfect. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and for the sake of time, let's go ahead and start the arm details. I will come back. I will touch him up a little bit more later on. Arms and muscles, again, like you saw me do a little bit with the chest and the stomach. You can extrude. I do find, and the stomach muscles are a great example. You know, it takes some fine tuning once you do extrude. So I do try to avoid extrusion when possible, especially for muscles. So what I will do, I will grab X. Again, you can kind of get the same effect as extruding with more loop cuts. Here's what I'm going to show you. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this in because essentially what extrusion does is it takes this surface and it adds a face on either side. Okay, so in essence with loop cuts you can kind of do the same thing. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to grab this. So I added that loop cut there. I'm going to grab these faces and I'm just going to GZ, and you can see I'm already kind of giving my guy some shoulders. Let's grab those lines. GX, GZ, and I'm going to go ahead, GY, or GX, and grab this and this, GZ, and we're going to give him some shoulders. Now I may come in, add more loop cuts as I go. I will go ahead and create a line back here. I don't want it to go all the way around the hand, so I'm just going to create a knife cut. So I'm going to need to get those triceps working as well. Let's go ahead and grab this face, GY. And as you can see, and as we get to the posing stage 2, I'm still going to be able to manipulate some of these and make these look better. So we're not done with just this stage. We're going to be working on him throughout the process. So I have this. Let's go ahead and grab his biceps. GY. Get them started. They're pretty good. Scale them down just a little bit. And we can create another loop cut here if we want. Let's go ahead and use a knife utility along these. Okay. Get that rounded out. Control R here, and you'll see it just does it along that face. GZ, we're gonna round that muscle out some. We're gonna take this, and we're gonna G, grab along the Z in the opposite direction, give us that nice bicep line. Let's grab this GY, give us a little bit more so it's not pinching as bad. Okay. GX. That's pretty good. Again, we can go along and fine tune this as we go. I don't want to spend too much time on this. You can see those are the muscles that are forming. Let's go ahead and give him some triceps because you're not going to be pushing anybody off of you if you don't have triceps. Let's go OK. And just grab this face here, GY, and you can see boom. Okay. All right. I'm not happy with those biceps, and if I'm being completely honest, but I think I'll be able to work with them and get them better once we get further along. All right, so without further ado, let's just go ahead and get these bracers made. I'm going to use this line, and then let me go ahead and create another loop cut here. All right, we want to get these bracer lines as straight as possible. Actually, probably easier for me to just grab that one, GX rather. GX. And then these are pretty good. Yeah, I think I kind of want to go ahead and grab all of this though. It's a little bit too close to that muscle. So let me just go grab all of these with our box selecting tool. Still kind of happy I figured that out. Did like 10 minutes of research and figured out what that's actually called. Okay, GX, grab that whole line down. Okay, perfect. And I already have everything selected what I need. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit it's still not very straight, so let's go back in here, grab those back lines, GX, and make sure the lines are as straight as possible. Perfect. All right, grab our faces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to E, off click, S for scale, pull that out. Okay, let's Control R, create a loop cut there. Let's actually grab these existing ones because I don't want to have too many faces here. So just go ahead and grab these lines here. Okay, and we are just going to grab X and scale in. And that gives us that nice firm line there. Perfect. Okay. And then let's just create the other one real quick. So go back to faces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. E, off click, S for scale, bring that out. Control R in. And for the sake, I think we can do another loop cut on this side. Again, I'm always doing that forward thinking, trying to think of the next step. Another video I'm probably gonna have to do is the hands because they're just gonna take way too much time for me to go through and do the details on. So that is it. I think I'm pretty good with this. I'm definitely gonna make the belt a little bit bigger, but there he is, guys. There's our guy. Taking him, comparing him back to the sketch, pretty decent, pretty fair comparison. I may have to do a little bit more scaling with the body to get the head and the body proportions more in line with the overall idea. Ooh, I am seeing one thing that I do want to show you guys. I want to do this real quick. So if we look here, you can see I've created kind of like a harsh line with the vertices, right? This is that bunching up, that pinching that we see when we bring loop cuts too close together. So let's fix this real quick, okay, while we're here. Just gonna grab those faces, and then we're gonna watch what happens when I go GX. Watch that line just kind of disappear. Boom. And then we have this one. We're going to GY, and we're going to make that one disappear as well. Perfect. All right, that's him. I'm pretty happy with this version of him. Again, I may do a little bit more work on his muscles, on his arms. May do a little bit more work on the vest in preparation for his collar. The belt definitely needs to be made bigger. But overall, guys, I'm really liking him. I think he's great. He is in line with the overall vision. Guys, thank you so much again for all the support that I'm seeing in the channel. Please, as always, like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Let me know if you guys have other techniques that you would use to accomplish some of these same goals. It's a community, so any feedback is good feedback. But again, guys, thank you so much. Have a great day.